Well, my wife. Here we go. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kyle.
Didn't do any better.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I would like to call to order the Planning and Utilization Committee meeting of Thursday, July 25th, 2024. And please call roll. Oh, it is at 10:12 a.m.
Strathman,
Strathman present.
Caius,
Guys present.
Bates. Bates here. Ford. Gums. Kenyon,
Here.
Lewis,
Lewis here.
Linder,
Linder over here.
Pepe,
Deputy here.
Ford. Okay, you have a quorum?
We do have a form.
Yep.
Okay, good. Good. May I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from June 27th?
Madam Chair,
Yes.
point
Mr.
of
Kite.
order would be to allow, is there anybody
Thank
online?
you.
I'm sorry.
Yes, we have Mr. Linder still online, and do we have Mr. Ford or
Is
no?
Ford online?
He is still, okay. And can we, is there any objection to allowing them in the meeting? Okay, none heard, so be it. Okay, now, may I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from June 27th, 2024?
Linder asked for unanimous consent to approve the minutes, so June 27th, 2024.
Thank you, Mr. Linder. Any objections? So be it. Do we have any public comments today? Okay, moving right along. Then we will, next up will be Mr. Pat Chess, and may I have a motion and a second for the 24-2663 resolution approving bids for tree and brush cleaning at portions of Dick Young, Pingree Grove, Hannaford Woods, Nichols Farm, and Bliss Woods Forest Reserve.
Kenyon would move the resolution.
Thank you. Thank you. You're up.
Good morning. So what I have before you this morning is some information to consider the approval of a bid for tree and brush clearing at six projects spread across 4 different forest reserves. Every winter, our staff and also contractors that we hire work to control woody invasive species, just like we control the herbaceous ones in the growing season. Kind of traditionally, our focus has been on buckthorn and honeysuckle, which we see as heavy invaders in our woodland ecosystems. We've split this year into kind of 2. So we have 3 projects occurring at Bliss Woods. Those projects are designed at kind of that traditional work, doing the buckthorn honeysuckle removal, as well as thinning out some of our mesic trees, some of the maples and ash that are in the understory that are really getting too thick in there. We haven't been able to keep up with. And then we split the other 3 projects at Dick Young, Pingree, and Hannaford. Those are large sections of prairies where we are primarily focusing on calorie repair control. So over the past few years, calorie repair has really become more and more of a problem in our grassland communities. It functions the same way that buckthorn does in our woodlands, but it's in full sun instead of in shade. And so we're seeing it pop up more and more. So we've got 3 projects this winter aimed at large grassland units that have a lot of calorie repair in there. It's the same type of work. It would be hiring out a machine to go out, remove those trees, and then herbicide the stumps. And then we would hope that in the future, as we keep burning, we'd be able to keep those small and keep those out of the prairies. We did go out to bid here for these 6 different projects. Bids was sent out to 37 vendors. We had 11 respond. So it's a big response for us here. The lowest qualified bids coming in from 3 different companies. Those are RES Environmental on the Dick Young and Pingree projects, V3 out at Hannaford, and then Semper Fi at Bliss. We've worked with all 3 of those companies in the past, and they've done this similar type of work for us and do a good job. Financially, we have $100,000 budgeted in this year for tree and brush work in our operating budget. That we'd be looking to do projects 1, 2, and 3 out of. So those 3 projects totaled a grand total of $101,233.20. So we're a little bit over $1,000 over that $100,000 that we have budgeted. What we would be looking to do there is pay for the additional $1,200 of Project 3 out of our weed management account. We did have $140,000 budgeted in the weed management account, where we do have sufficient funds of a little over $92,000 remaining to cover that $1,200 expense. And then the 3 projects out at Bliss are part of our Maple Esker Woodland project. So that project has $170,000 budgeted towards it. Those 3 projects together sum to a total of $71,813.44. So we do have sufficient funds to cover all 3 of those. So at this time, we are recommending going forward with approval of all 6 projects.
Okay, any comments or questions? Sounds like a lot of work. Please call the roll.
Strathman,
Yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes?
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Ford, Gums, Kenyon,
Yes.
Lewis,
Lewis, yes.
Linder,
Linder, yes.
Pepe.
Happy, yes.
It's approved.
Okay, next up is Jeremy Jensen. And may I have a motion and a second for 24-2626 resolution approving a bid for the construction of a shelter at Campton Hills Forest Preserve. Moved by Lewis, seconded.
And then we'll second it.
Okay, Mr. Kenyon. Okay, Lewis and Kenyon, the team.
All right, good
Okay.
morning. Purpose of this is to provide information to consider a bid for the replacement of Shelter 1 at Campton Forest Preserve. Campton Forest Preserve was purchased initially in 1972 with 166 acres of the current 377. Shelter 1 was constructed in 1980 on top of a hill that overlooks the woodland and grasslands of that area. Parking lot improvements and an equestrian area were added in 2007. And most recently in 2023, we completed a complete renovation of Shelter 1 just before it was deemed a total loss due to fire damage sustained from a vehicle accident. Campton Shelter 1 receives year-round use, picnic shelters and reservations, scout groups, and then also serves as a resting area for equestrian time, and we have a sledding hill at that location as well. This project will include the removal of the existing concrete foundation left from the old shelter and the purchase and installation of a new shelter and concrete pad connecting to the existing ADA access points from the parking lot and the restroom. The bid was publicly advertised with 6 responding bidders. Hargrave Construction Company out of South Elgin was the lowest qualified bidder with a cost of $183,910. Additionally, we are recommending a 10% contingency and a total of $18,391 for a total cost not to exceed $202,301. Funds for this project were not budgeted. However, the shelter is part of an open insurance claim through the district's insurance management company, Paderma. The district will be refunded for the full replacement value after the project is complete, and it is being tracked through the Construction Development Fund 03-3535-7050 as Project 31020. At this time, staff is recommending the approval for the bid for Hargrave Construction Company of South Elgin for a total not to exceed $202,301.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? Yes, Mr.
Not a
Kenyon.
question. Hargrave is a very quality outfit. In South Elgin, we think a lot of the work they do. And
They've done a couple of our shelters for us, and we've had good luck with them.
they work hard. It's good.
Thank you, Mr. Kenyon. Any other questions or comments? I have a question. I don't know about the fire. What in the vehicle? What was that about?
A vehicle had an accident, collided with one of the posts, caught fire, and the shelter sustained significant damage. So it was, after the investigation was done, the shelter was removed by staff to mitigate any safety issue, and then we've been proceeding through the insurance.
Was it one of our vehicles?
It was not, nope.
Yeah, it was actually tragedy. It was a resident and it was a fatal accident
Oh.
and set fire to the car, set fire
Oh,
to the
wow.
shelter. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, please call the roll.
Strathman,
Strathman, yes.
Caius,
Guys, yes?
Bates,
Bates, yes.
Ford. Gums. Kenyon.
Yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Linder.
Linder, yes.
Pepe.
Yes.
It's approved.
Okay, good. Okay, next we have Jennifer Brooks Lopez. May I have a motion and a second for 24-2668 resolution approving a bid for the construction and replacement of a drain tile at Otter Creek Forest Preserve. Moved by
Kenyon would move that.
Kenyon, seconded by Lewis. Lewis. Ms. Lopez.
All right. So what we have in front of us today is a bid from Heartstrand Water Solutions LLC for the replacement of the Otter Creek Drain Tile Replacement Project. So in 2023, the district was contacted by residents in the HOA of the Creekside subdivision, as well as the city of Elgin. Kate, I don't know if you can zoom out just a little bit on this. With concerns about the drain tile that runs through Otter Creek Forest Preserve. So that's this green line right here, and then this is Creekside subdivision. They were experiencing some flooding and backup in this area that they were afraid was going to be causing some issues to the homes adjacent to it. We reached out to Huddleston Engineering, who does most of our drain tile assessments, asked Tom to go out and take a look at the tile and let us know what the condition was. He's done a thorough investigation on it and determined that the entire line does need to be replaced, including the outfall here to Otter Creek, which did require us to get some Army Corps permitting. So that's part of the reason why it's taken so long for this project to get in front of the board. We did go through a formal bid process. We received 6 bidders, and Heartstrand Water Solutions LLC was the lowest qualified bid with a base bid of $40,129. Additionally, we're asking for an $8,000 contingency to be set aside just in case there's any issues during the construction process for a total of $48,129. So funds totaling $200,000 were allocated in the 23-24 budget under capital for the drainage consulting, tile mapping, and repairs, of which we have $152,630 remaining for this project. And so staff recommends at this point that the committee approve the base bid to Heartstrand Water Solutions LLC for the Otter Creek drain tile replacement for $40,129 plus a contingency of $8,000 for a total project not to exceed of $48,129.
Any questions? Yes, Mr. Roth?
I'm Rother. What's the life expectancy of the new drain tile?
I would hope for 50 plus years.
Okay. I know. Well, you might.
One of the things
Berman.
One of the things we will have to be careful, Kate, if you go back to that previous site, or the overall site photo. The best way to keep that drain tile nice and clean is to make sure that we don't allow anything to really grow over top of it. So right now there's a lot of, you can let grasses and small shrubs grow over top of it, but we will want to make sure that we keep any of the trees and stuff well out of that area. And that'll keep the roots from getting into those drain tiles. But beyond that,
Okay, Gabby, please call the roll.
Strathman.
Strathman, yes.
Caius.
Nice, yes.
Bates.
Bates, yes.
Ford. Gums. Kenyon.
Yes.
Lewis.
Lewis, yes.
Linder.
Linder, yes.
Pepe.
Yes.
It's approved.
Okay. Do we have a need for a closed session?
No need.
We do not.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I'll get you next time.
I could
And-
talk about land.
Lori, for communications.
Sure, we have some website improvements I'd like to tell you about that will improve our accessibility. You see underneath the red arrow, that's a copy of what the homepage of our website looks like. There is a wheelchair icon that will show all of our accessibility adjustments, and those have now given us the ability to give people seizure-safe profiles, vision-impaired profiles, ADHD-friendly profiles, cognitive disability profile. There's a keyboard navigation if you have motor difficulties. There's a screen reader for blind users. And also you have the ability now to control the content, color, and orientation adjustments. So this is a wonderful thing that we've added to our website. And so we're excited to be able to offer this to the public. The other thing I'd like to point out is we're starting to use our new tagline, which is preserving nature, enriching lives. So you'll start seeing that everywhere. So just wanted to call your attention to it. The next,
It's so cool.
it is
That's
cool. It
wonderful.
is fun to get in there and play around and see how it really makes a difference.
Yeah.
Is it mobile friendly? Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Next
You're
up,
gonna miss your climate change thing. It's tense.
next up, we have our Rusty Rodeo.
1:00. You can do both. Sorry, go ahead.
It's all right. It's on Saturday, August
Yeah.
10th at 2 locations. We used to have this at Glenwood Park Forest Preserve, but we did such a good job of removing rusty crayfish out of that area that we've moved to these 2 locations. And this is in partnership with the St. Charles Park District as well. So dress for collecting crayfish out of the river. Next up, we are moving along on the foundation's first ever cane golf outing. And so you can see the sponsors on the screen. If you have contacts that you think would make good sponsors for this event, please let us know. We'd be happy to reach out to them on your behalf. Again, all foundation fundraising goes to support initiatives here at the Forest Preserve District. So hopefully the golf outing goes well. And again, that's September 12th. At 9 a.m. at Hughes Creek Golf Course, and we are still looking for both golfers and sponsors. And then lastly, as a staff, we're allowed to provide information only, not bias, but information on the referendum. So to that end, we have a page on our website. And so if you go to the homepage, there's a link to this, or if you go to caneforest.com/referendum, it will take you directly to this. And then we additionally have the QR code will take you to that page as well. Thanks, Kate. And we also have business card sized cards actually over there on the table. And take some of those with you. If people have questions or want more information on the referendum, you can just give them a card. Obviously, you can have them call us too if there are questions that you can't answer, but I'll be ordering and replenishing more of these cards as we go through them between now and November 5th.
Thank you.
And also that page will be updated regularly. You're welcome.
Awesome. Thank you, Lori.
Question.
Yes.
What about Max?
What about Max?
If you have a flyer over here for,
Yeah, we have a flyer for Max 15. You're welcome to take some if you need more flyers for that or really anything with regard to the district. Let me know. We can print them out for you.
thank you.
Great. Great. Okay. Mr. Kenyon?
I'd like to move, we adjourn, although it's been fun, but good job.
But I have a zero.
You showed them how to run a meeting, Cheryl.
Well, it was my meeting in the first place. That's the difference. So, did I get a second? Yes, okay. All in favor?
You've
Thank
been
you.
out
Thank
into,
you. We are